Hello and welcome to the No Hair, All Heart podcast. I'm your host, Mookie Spitz, and I am reading from my novel, Jonnie, Fazoolie, and the Transfinite Reality Engine. Last episode, I opened my reading with Alice Unchained. And now we're diving in with Pitz Stop. Not too long ago, Penny Pitz cared. A double major in poli-sci and econ at Brown, class of 17, she couldn't wait to save the planet. Sexism, racism, poverty, and war. She was over it. The odds had shifted in her gender's, if not her generation's, favor. Educational performance, maturity and EQ, institutional support drove growth for girls and backslide for boys. Manosphere backlash helped hurl both trad political parties into reactionist orbits with their distrust of authority, hatred of culture wars, and calls for revolution, all driven by digital radicalization. The seething misogyny bursting on the scene angered Penny and implored her to work even harder to prove her self-worth and that of all womanhood. Rights, not roses. Power, not permission. Despite her many personal advantages in America's historic bonanza of food, health, wealth, technology, and safety, the social media accelerated griping turned Penny into a victim, too. Opposed to institutions while reaping their benefits, obsessed by the disadvantaged yet doing nothing to support them. Penny knew exactly what she wanted without having the slightest clue. Graduating with big plans, microaggressions turned major when she inevitably realized that nobody cared. Overeducated and underexperienced, she joined the long line of Ivy Leaguers hung to dry. Discovering the Gen Z myths were all true, including those that weren't, she collapsed into the null set of no career, marriage, house, or certainty, and retreated home to mom and dad. They were supportive and gracious as always, while her older sisters reveled in the chance to rub it in. Say, "We told you so." The final straw, sleeping in her childhood bedroom in her jammies. Insomniac, vaping, and gazing up at the glow-in-the-dark stars stuck up there decades ago. The constellation Cannabis Major formed the word loser. And she yeeted out of there. A go-getter, from the get-go, nothing was going to stop Penny from getting going. A list maker. List making was at the top of her lists. So if all else failed, she had a list at the top of her list. Item number 1. Explore effective altruism. The surest path to getting rich fast without feeling guilty. Make a mountain of money, then give it all away. Maybe not all of it, right? How to begin? After escaping the OC, moving to San Francisco, and being hired then fired from a SaaS startup in 5 minutes, a sorority sister's lover's sister sent her to a rundown relic near Berkeley City Hall. On the 4th floor of that iconic Ghostbusters dump on Telegraph Avenue, she met former Jane Street traders bullshitting on beanbag chairs, smoking joints, making big plans, oozing chutzpah. Cryptocurrency is the convergence of entrepreneurship, finance, and tech was exactly what Penny wasn't looking for. So, of course, she sat down, lit up, and joined her new blockchain tribe. Despite her youth and inexperience, Penny was only a few years younger than most of Alhambra Research's 20-something staff of less than 20 people. and she felt comfy and vibey. Wearing many hats, as they all did, she gophered coffee, wrote ad copy, troubleshot glitchy software, and became a core member of a bold, raw team trailblazing decentralized banking and crypto. Distributed fintech was more than a tool and heralded crypto as a banking revolution, freeing up control, bringing transparency, and democratizing global wealth through the immutable ledger. The time zone difference in Bitcoin value between New York and Tokyo spawned quick millions, igniting XTX, a multinational crypto arbitrage brokerage, soon destined for fame and infamy. In 2019, the power and risk of crypto was felt by retail and even institutional investors, eager for a new exchange that could handle futures, options, tokenized stocks, and margin trading. Transaction fees from high volume, high frequency trading and derivatives, along with revenue from issuance of their own sketchy tokens, accelerated their already exponential growth. By wrapping a deceptively lucrative business model around reckless risk taking for a purportedly worthy end, they confused everyone, especially themselves, and got filthy rich, ridic fast. Big money poured in, obfuscating the questionable talent, twisted ethics, and bogus philanthropy. The more money they made, the smarter they felt. The entire world their naive enablers. The staff, still tiny in comparison to their billion-dollar QuickBooks balance sheet, grew in early 2021 with Nathaniel Blacklist as the head of marketing. Soon Natalie Tianeman leading PR. They recognized Penny's talent, teamed up. Within a wild couple years, she took for granted and rocked the blank check energy of a limitless budget, moving fast, buying things and people. Throwing around tens of millions, they blasted primetime ad spend, ignited deals with celebrity athletes, spawned stadium rebrands, and courted corrupt politicians from both parties. Stephen Curry wasn't an expert and didn't need to be. Tom and Gazelle were in. Mr. Wonderful called it the safest place to buy crypto. Larry David didn't get it and was missing out. Celebrities her friends only saw on the popping new streaming services became her party pals as she flew around the world and back again, clinching major deals and selling in new ones. To think that a blink of an eye ago, she was smoldering in her Hello Kitties, gawking at scintillating sticky stars, and now she was a maven of the universe, helping to deflower male heroism. To be fair, she had no reference points, no baseline to assess her astonishing situation. Akin to the currency that they traded, the whole experience seemed surreal. Playtime with play money. Sam Bankman Greed was a weird CEO and a strange first boss to have, etching a model in Penny's mind of young, eccentric, and hungry founders embracing high risk and hashtag winning, wearing t-shirts and khaki shorts, playing video games during meetings. SBG epitomized the man-child with balls who swung wildly and hit home runs. Big wins favored over solid batting averages. Penny giggled at his Jufro, felt a crush, was quickly squashed by geekier Harlan Ellison, giving her the evil eye. Don't shit where you eat or fuck where you shuck. Lessons learned fast. Whether Sam was a genius or a moron didn't matter as long as crypto was hot and the market rose. But the instant investors spooked and his worthless tokens vaporized, their shit got real. Foul balls were one thing. Doping his ostensibly independent investment company with customer funds was another. Bank run, bankruptcy, bail violation. 3 strikes, and SBG was out. With his fall, the crypto bubble burst, pricked by these beanbag chair geeks at the cusp of DeFi transformation. The regulators pounced, precipitating backlash, but not in time to save them. The fall of XTX was an instantaneous quantum wave function collapse. Wealth and success were entangled, binary states. When ZC, the CEO of Binance, saw trouble, the pair flipped to zero. Nothing dashes hope faster than confirmed fear. The dusk of 2022 heralding the dawn of ChatGPT and crash of crypto. Everyone hot for bots as Sam went to the slam, launching a whole new era. His exponential ascent and inexorable fall ruined Penny's dream gig, leaving another Zoomer in the lurch. Who could blame her? Hitting the jackpot on the first pull, she got used to the life. The momentum boosted Penny to dizzying heights until the predictable end bloodied her hands and resume with the blunt trauma of DOJ subpoenas, forfeiture of a swank Bahamas condo. Nathaniel and Natalie felt bamboozled by SBG, took the fall hard. Penny partnered well with both, especially Natalie, yet everyone scattered from the wreck, licking their wounds. Markets crashing, at least for 5 minutes, forced her out of decentralized banking and into a traditional career pathway. Too bad the AI revolution was still weeks away. A cyber lifetime. Less blessed besties welcome Penny back to their real world woes of unemployment, crushing college debt, tech and housing bubbles, and interminable kvetching. They invited her to brunch. A fallen star, she was showered with condolences and cattiness. The gals wanted to know if she'd banged Sam. Gross. And the guys wanted to know how much she had stashed in Switzerland. She had nothing to hide on either front, the rapid boom and riveting bust exhausting her. Still catching her breath, Penny craved a tinge of normalcy until they bored her in 5 seconds. Penny's ex-BFs didn't know what to do with her either. Impress her with a Hamptons invite? Go grunge in the village? After she'd partied with Post Malone, The Weeknd, and Katy Perry? Still fresh from press coverage of Sam's trial and her 2 days of sworn testimony, with speculation swirling around the plea deal, hanging low was her best PR option. Tick tock. Killing time, she checked the list, her bucket one, and began her new life at the end of the one she'd lost. Cruise the Arctic, hike the Longi terraces, descend into the Trinuk Agikur volcano. Boring. The world was interestingly enough, yet she no longer was, making amazement impossible amid her personal ennui and disappointment. Penny knew she had to dive back in. Feeling the lingering inertia of a shattered reputation with every new career explored, changing things up was hard. Economics? Bzz. Consulting? Bzz. Tech? Bzz. Investments? Hell no. Ask yourself what you'd like to do or good at, suggested her middle sister Jenny on the deck of their family lake house in Connecticut. Then find a new job where you can do that. Easy for you to say, smirked Penny, the youngest of her three sisters, the doctor, the lawyer, and her. Their age gap spanned a decade, her role relegated into their wake and out of harm's way. I don't know if I like my job or not, said Benny, the oldest, but at this point it doesn't matter. Look what happened to you! Her foes zing, making Penny jittery. Anything can happen. She was used to these sisterly complisalts and insultaments, building her up, tearing her down, designed to keep her in her place as baby sister, the family most comfortable that way. Including Penny, to be fair. She felt adored and fawned over, the stress of competing with her competitive older sibs supplanted by their nurturing, albeit asphyxiating, guidance and protection. In awkward, transitional moments like this, she wondered if her congenital position in the Pitz's pecking order stifled her professional development, atrophied her emotional growth. Her sister married right out of college and had their own families. That added parental pressure on Aunt Penny to do the same. Ball thrown in her court if she ever wanted to grow up. So far, not. Friday evenings were the ritual of single gal Penny as the unaccompanied weekly dinner guest at Jenny's, as if the youngest sister somehow morphed into the new oldest daughter. Creepy, but comfortable. Like Penny's dating history. Her long line of suitors were dismissed as a litany of losers, ineligible bachelors who reinforced an already spinsterly status quo. Was Penny stuck? Too soon to know, as Jenny was too busy with her happy marriage to care, and Benny was too busy with her unhappy one to pay any attention either. Then XTX happened. Her sudden and spectacular success disrupted the core family dynamic. Baby sis unleashed. But now that she's crashed and burned, the family equilibrium has returned, everyone relieved. You had a way with words, continued Jenny, sparring with Benny for their collective attention. Remember you chose journalism as your minor, I think, before switching to poli-sci? You advised against it, recalled Penny, hating and loving when her sisters gave her advice and life lessons, feeling like they were caressing and correcting her. You said there's no money in it. There isn't, cutting Benny, rubbing it in again. But now that you've conquered the world, maybe you can do what you like to do instead of what you think you need to do to get ahead. The hurtful hypocrisy coming from a Northwestern University Feinberg Medical School graduate was so obvious and extreme that Penny succumbed to the snarkiness and took it personally. Good idea, piled on Jenny, who only agreed with her older sister Benny when the fleeting and reluctant concession disadvantaged youngest sister Penny. Faubs is a client. I'll make a call. See, everything was always all about Penny, even if Penny was never taken seriously, treated like daddy's girl, an entitled little brat unable to make it on her own, inevitably returning home. Thank you, she sighed in the same tone used with her lovers after they finished. Penny feeling dirty, eager to clean up. She cried in the bathroom, unsure whether from desire or despair. Flushing the toilet, Turning to the vanity mirror, a wiser face peered curiously back at her. As a little girl, she sometimes wondered about the penny on the other side. What did she think? Thanks for listening. More about Penny in the next episode.